Meghan told Oprah Winfrey during the bombshell chat that she and Harry tied the knot in our backyard before the lavish public ceremony at Windsor Castle on May 19th, 2018. Writing in his memoir Spare, Harry revealed that Archbishop reached the official part, spoke a few words that made us the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, titles bestowed by Granny, and he joined us, until death do us part, though he'd already done similar days earlier in our garden. A small ceremony with just the two of us, Guy and Poola the only witnesses. Unofficial, non-binding, except in our souls. We were grateful for every person in and around St. George's and watching on TV, but our real matrimony was in private. Magical as the formal ceremony was, we'd both come to feel slightly frightened of crowds. However, the Archbishop of Canterbury has confirmed Meghan Markle and Prince Harry weren't legally married in their back garden 3 days before the royal wedding. The Archbishop claimed that the wedding seen by millions across the world was the real deal. He said, "If any of you ever talk to a priest, you expect them to keep that talk confidential. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to. I had a number of private and pastoral meetings with the Duke and Duchess before the wedding. The legal wedding was on the Saturday. I signed the wedding certificate, which is a legal document. I would have committed a serious criminal offence if I signed it knowing it was false. So you can make what you like of it, but the legal wedding was on the Saturday. I won't say what happened at any other meetings." Stephen Borton, who drew up the licence for the wedding previously, told The Sun, "I'm sorry, but Meghan is obviously confused and clearly misinformed. They didn't marry 3 days earlier. The special licence I helped draw up enabled them to marry at St. George's Chapel in Windsor. What happened there on May 19th, 2018, and was seen by millions around the world, was the official wedding, as recognised by the Church of England, and the law. What I suspect they did was exchange some simple vows they'd perhaps written themselves, and which is fashionable, and said that in front of the Archbishop. Or, and more likely, it was a rehearsal. The Markle logic is the opposite of what they say. So, in fact, they would have loved a big wedding in somewhere like Westminster Abbey, but as the sixth in line, he wasn't entitled to it, so they pretend that they didn't want one, thus making everyone else seem like the status-obsessed pretentious idiots instead. This is how their backward spin works, and they do it with everything, but the flaws become obvious when the freedom fighters refuse to relinquish their titles. Then we see what they're really about. As usual, Harry's claims didn't sit well with royal fans. One person wrote, "The notion that the Archbishop did a small ceremony in the garden is just as bad as the first consecration of our love. The garden vow rehearsal wasn't a ceremony, and it wasn't consecrated. A consecrated ceremony is the marriage, a rite of the church. Either he doesn't understand those words, he is pretty unintelligent, or he's repeating Meghan's Oprah lie." Another commented, "The Archbishop of Canterbury didn't make them the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, he married them." Or is Harry's book saying that he didn't? Harry's title wasn't bestowed by Granny, it was bestowed by the monarch to Harry. Nothing was bestowed upon Meghan. She's the Duchess as a courtesy title of the marriage. What a mess this book is. Lies, inaccuracies, half-truths, fictitious misinformation, and disrespect.